I want you guys to understand this one thing about anger and having anger. Every man who has anger is living in his mind. He lives in his thoughts, okay? And he constantly manufactures these mental theatrics about how he's being attacked, how he's being oppressed, how he's being done wrong, while also constantly rationalizing how he is the hero in this synopsis, all taking place in his mental theater known as his mind, his thoughts, right? So understand that every man who has anger is living in his thoughts. And most of the time, your thoughts are going to deceive you, okay? Your thoughts are going to lie to you. And the thing you have to understand about anger is that anger is female. Okay, it's not male, it's female. Why? Because anger is an emotion. It's a very strong emotion. It's a very powerful emotion. Okay? And sometimes it can help you. It can help you live. It can help you survive. It can help you, just like blast through something. But at other times, it can be very dangerous. It's kind of like playing with fire. Most of the time, it can burn you up. Right? Because most people find it very difficult to control their anger. Right? Just like, again, like a fire that starts to get out of control. Then it starts to like just go up in a blaze. Now you can't put it out. Now it's going to get you into some trouble. Anger can be very dangerous for somebody who doesn't have control over their emotion. So I'm not saying anger is always a bad thing. In most cases, it's usually in the wrong hands. It's in the hands of somebody who's just a bit too emotional, a bit too stuck in their feminine frame, and is being controlled by their own mental demons. So they're not in control of their emotional state. They're out of control. But when you are able to let go of your anger, okay, when you're actually able to let go of it, you are able to overcome your own delusional imagination that everyone out there is out to get you. Everyone out there is out to do you wrong. Everyone out there is meant to keep you down. Okay, once you get over your anger. Okay, but in order to do that, guess what you need? You need the opposite of anger. You need love. You need to have love in your heart. You need to have forgiveness. And this is something that a lot of angry people don't have, right? They don't have that. And that's something that they need to work on, because love, believe it or not, I mean, love and forgiveness is masculine. It's something that, can only come from men. And this is something I teach on my dating channel, which is women are not designed to love you, right? They can't love you in the way that you think they can, right? They love you for what you do for them. They love you for, the caricature, the social status you have, what you bring to the table, but they don't actually love you for you. That makes sense. Right? Because love can only come from a man. In order to overcome your anger, you must have love in your heart. You must have forgiveness. You must have humility, humbleness, okay? Which a lot of angry people don't have. But anybody who would attack you unprovoked, for example, has anger. They have anger in their hearts. They're angry people. It's like, why would you just attack someone you don't know? Because they have anger. Right? And again, usually that anger comes from their mothers, right? Just to like really go deeper in this rabbit hole, really, because anger is a woman. It usually comes from your mother, and it's usually because you're angry at her. You're angry at your mother. She might have, did you wrong growing up when she was raising you. Probably bashed your father a lot, who didn't stick around, because it's usually these single moms who raise these angry kids. And, in some ways they have a right to be angry because they never had a dad. They never had a dad to come in and instill boundaries in their lives, right? To teach them boundaries. Like, hey, don't cross these boundaries. Women really suck at teaching kids, especially boys, how to have boundaries in life. They're terrible at that. Because most women don't really have boundaries, right? So, they're not designed to teach those type of disciplinary lessons, especially to boys. Only a man can teach that. So when a child is raised in a fatherless home by primarily a female and then goes off to school and is being taught by primarily females and comes home and again is continuing to be raised by a female, all he's surrounded by is the feminine, he's going to grow up lacking those boundaries because there's nobody in his life, there's no strong male role model to instill those boundaries. So that's why these guys always have like anger issues, and they will often lash out at people even unprovoked. They'll like troll people they don't know, they'll like try to push their buttons, they'll try to get a reaction because they themselves are now stuck in their feminine frame and they're loaded with anger. And again, they will backwards rationalize any way they can that this person's evil and I'm the hero. This person needs to be shut down. I'm the one who's doing good here. Because that is the type of delusion that you will sell yourself when you have anger, when you're too emotional, when you're stuck in your feminine frame. Because again, every man who has anger lives in his thoughts, lives in his mind. He's not living in reality. He's living in his mind. You know, and if you ever deal with an angry person, you ever argue with them and they lash out at you, they're like practically gaslighting you with all of these ridiculous accusations that don't match the facts, that don't match the reality, that don't, have nothing to do with the situation you're in together, that they're upset about. It's like, where is this coming from? Why? It's because somebody who's angry is living in their thoughts. They're not living in reality, they're living in their thoughts, okay? And this is why whenever you talk to somebody who's like woke, like, like part of the cancel culture and shit, and they just make no sense at all to you. It's like you're kind of like living on two separate planets almost, and they can't understand you. You can't understand them. You can see what they're doing, but you're living in reality where they're not. They're living in their minds, right? They're loaded with emotions and anger, and when you're loaded with emotions and anger, your mind is clouded from seeing the truth. You can't see the truth. Okay? It's like you're having this mental fog. Angry people just by default are just weak mentally and spiritually, right? This is why it's easy to control them. And you notice the media does that, right? What does the media do constantly 24/7? They fearmonger. They want to keep you living in fear, right? Because that is how they control you. This is why I tell you guys, turn off your TVs. They constantly want to keep you in fear, make you believe like, oh, there's this deadly thing going on out there, or there's, all this supremacy going on out there, oh my God, it's going to get you too. All of these boogeymans, so to speak, that don't match up to the statistics. Really? I mean, it's like these people only use statistics when it benefits their narrative. But once it doesn't benefit their narrative, no statistics. Let's just go based on our emotions. Let's just go based on our anger and keep everybody else angry, because that's how we can control other people. So, angry people are mentally weak. This is why they're easy to control. Anger is reactive, and it will always, 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 always cause you to make bad decisions without thinking. And at the end of the day, anger is a sign of a feminine man who is stuck in his feminine frame and needs to pull himself out of it. Okay? Because as long as he's living in this angry state, he's never going to feel free. Those negative thoughts, negative toxic thoughts in his mind, where he constantly sees himself as being a victim or being oppressed, he's constantly going to be like shackled, right, by his own hand. By his own hand. So if you want to experience true freedom and you want to break free of that anger, you have to have the antidote to that, which is love, forgiveness, right? And it starts really with forgiving that single mom. Most cases it was a single mom who raised you, who did you wrong, right? Who was dysfunctional and instilled dysfunction into you. The way to overcome it is by first forgiving her. She didn't know any better. I forgive you, Mom. And then forgiving yourself. And that is the first step towards having love. And that is the first step towards overcoming your anger. As always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Share any ideas you want to share below. Anything I might have missed, share them in the comments below. Always love to see you guys in my comments. Always love to read them. As always, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Do not forget to
smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel, so please make sure you're subscribed to the Alpha Male Secrets